Hello there, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is A Train 9, Volume 3, Version 3, Revision 3. Hello, right, what are we doing? So, when we were last here, we expanded. This is a regular thing that's going on. Look at these trees, aren't they lovely? I'll bulldoze them and make room for houses. We expanded again to add in a third district. District 1, I'm shortly going to rename Woking. At your suggestion, thank you very much for that. Good shout, like it. Okay, after I finished recording last time around, I played through the game a little bit further. I had some concerns, and those concerns were, am I about to bankrupt myself again? The long and the short answer is, almost. The problem is that it's tax, once again. Is having invested heavily in getting the new area set up, adding in the likes of depots and power and headquarters, which you kind of need, it gives you assets that you can't part with, that end up becoming more and more valuable, and the upshot of that is. You have to pay tax on the increase in value on their land value. So so that's well, it's problematic to say the least. Let's follow this chap because he's going out to the new area. The other thing that I came across that was a problem was that we were having difficulty actually getting enough resources out to all areas in order to make that work, and there's no two ways about it. Basically, I've screwed up in a lot of the track laying, in thinking like Train Fever. Now, some of you will be watching both series, some of you will only be watching one. But the main difference with this and Train Fever is that in Train Fever, signalling is a big deal for your trains, as it is in real life. Fundamentally, you can control whether trains are going to cause each other difficulties by putting signals down. In this game, they don't give a monkeys about signalling. What happens is if you've got two trains that end up facing each other on the same piece of track, well, that's it. They get stuck there, and they're going to stay there forevermore. So I haven't laid down enough track. The game is very much built with circuits en route more than point-to-point train travel, and at the moment I'm not at the point where building a circuit is either financially or spatially kind of a realism. And so having played forward at maximum speed for a good shake of time, probably 5-6 years, I was getting to the point where I was almost bringing in the revenues to cover my tax bill. Now that's okay, except for the fact that it doesn't allow me any extra expansion, and train services are definitely the ones that actually make expansion in any way viable at all. Let's where are we? We're in May. Yeah, you see, already I'm remembering how my finances looked at the end of the last session. Let's increase the temp. Let's get out of this window before it gives us some kind of motion sickness. So if we play forward just a little, as you can see, our railroad services profits are, they're getting there. I came up with some different scheduling approaches for goods that would have worked quite nicely. Factories make us money, warehouses not so much, because obviously if I'm not delivering to every warehouse, then you've got them just sat there empty, costing you money, costing their running cost. So it's not good enough, and I started to look around for different ways in which I could make money and not go bust, because I don't know about you, but I really quite like the way that this new city is panning out. So then I found a way to make money, and it's making money in such a way that it's almost cheating. And here we go. It's the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for manufacturing, because there's lots to choose from. So what we're looking for, if we hit the pause button, we're looking at the share price, right? So far, so straightforward. Now, the share prices in this fluctuate with no real reason behind it. They have upward trends, downward trends, but it has no bearing on what's actually going on in your city. So what you're looking for is a bottomed out share price, like OG Paper. Hello, OG Paper. Now we're going to add an extra 0 onto the number of shares that we're going to buy. We've only got 141 million quid, but we're going to buy them all. There we go. We've just spent 51 million quid on there. Now we've made a loss of 5 million because of brokerage fees, but let's unpause the game and watch the share price. Now the share price doesn't sit at its bottom value for too long. If we give it, we want it in the teens somewhere. Oh, hit 14 there for a moment. There we go, 15. $94 million profit. And then we go to the sell window. And we go here, and we go, no, sell the lot, please. We don't want to keep hold of them. I mean, we give $15 million in commission up. We'll give our sell order. It takes a couple of minutes to come through in game time unless you're at 300% speed. Lo and behold, 221 million. Brilliant. Okay, well, here's the thing, right? If I wanted to just have infinite cash and build up the city I'd want, why wouldn't I just do it in the editor? Well, I'm not going to do it in the editor. I want to be, a profitable company based on the real estate I own and the train network that I'm running. But what this basically means is I don't need to go bankrupt ever again. So basically I can just buy my way out of trouble once in a while. And I mean, obviously I'm going to have to pay tax on those profits, but I can make so many profits from share dealing that the tax isn't going to be an issue. Right, let's find another $5 share here. The game maybe moves a little bit faster with that. Let's drop it to 200 and see what we get. So yeah, I want to build up a bit of a... And, we'll get to profitability relatively easily once I've been able to make a couple of significant changes. And I'll get to the amount of money that I want to start with, and then we'll make those changes. I know, it feels like cheating. Well, it is cheating, really. I mean, it's not particularly realistic. Right, let's buy... What do we got here? Fujira Electronics. Right, I just bought all of those. Great. Anybody else in the £5 bracket? And Cuneo Stationery. We'll have those as well. Okay, so we're just keeping an eye on those two. Off we go. And there we go. They're both on an upward trend. Basically, this works because share values don't tend to drop below like $5. I mean, they'll go a little bit lower than that, but not by much. Oh, look, there's another purchase opportunity. Let's buy those. Anybody else? Yeah, let's buy those. Oh, I need some money. Okay, fine. Please hold. Let's sell those, and let's sell those. Onwards. So yeah, it's not only a license to print money, it's just basically it's a printer to print money. Just keeping an eye on this share price. It's looking quite healthy. Yeah, don't stay too far from the pause button. Once that share price hits, that much, terrific. Sell those. Amazing. Right, so we started this endeavour with 150 million in the bank. We've now got 450 million, and I've been talking to you for 5 minutes. Yeah, there you go. How to win the game. You want to win the game by making lots of money, that's how to do it. There are, job done. But that's not my objective. My objective is to build a glorious-looking city. And that is now pretty much a certainty, given that I've effectively got unlimited money as long as I don't spend it all. Yeah, pretty swish stuff. Right, so just to start with, I'm going to build out these tracks a little. Just purely so that we don't end up in a situation where the AI is built over the end of my my expansion route. And the goal is not to, periodically bail myself out. The goal is that we become self-sufficient. Go on, turn this corner. That'll do. So hopefully by the time I've got a reasonable sized network up and running, the amount that I'll be making from various services that I've got will be sufficient that I never have to cheat the stock market. Yeah, it feels wrong and bad, and I should be ashamed of myself in many different ways, and I am. But at the end of the day, I'm here to build something that's kind of glamorous and running and operational. I could do it in the editor, but it's ridiculous. Am I still defending myself for this particular activity? Well, maybe, kind of. But you don't want to sit around while I've got it on 300 speed for, 6 hours at a time in order to make, 3 million quid profit in a year. And if you do, you've come to the wrong place. That's not what I'm going to be doing. What do we think? No, I think we can leave that as it is. Although, have we built too far? No, I don't think people are going to be inclined to build on there. Alright, let's put a quick road in here. I have to get to grips with roads at some point. They are finicky, to say the least. But yeah, this now means that I can actually build some stuff without constantly watching that, it's costing me an obscene amount of money to do so. So there we go. I mean, I've blown through, 75,000 by placing some relatively short bits of track and a bunch of road. That's not fun. I want to get to the point where, money's no object. Right, there we go. That'll do. There's a bit of road. Let's take it around there as well. Do you want to see buses? There we go. This is my question to you. Frankly, I didn't come here to do buses, but it adds a bit more life to the city. So it's something that certainly I can add. I've played with them before, and you don't make any money out of it. Certainly not the way I do it, anyway. You don't want to cross that rail, do you? Which is a shame. If you did, that would make life a lot easier. Connecting up road is a right pain in the backside. Okay, right, so what was I saying about goods? I was saying that goods are problematic. When I played through for kind of an extended period, I built a truck system picking up goods from here, from District 1, otherwise known as Woking. Let's put it in capitals so it means something. Okay, right. Yeah, I was picking up goods from here and dropping them off down here. Now, that kind of worked, except that it did nothing for my profitability. And in fact, the cost of running those trucks was extreme. Now, the wisdom is that you run multiple goods services along the same lines as your passenger services. How does that work? You run them at different times. So because you can set your departure times for different services, you only ship goods at night. The one thing that, based on, I went and read a couple of tutorials. What am I, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a genius. I went and read a couple of tutorials, and apparently I've done this absolutely right. Is the smart thing to do is build your factory services the hell away from anything you're trying to build up into residential and beyond, so that the land value isn't afflicted, and so that your goods trains can move in and out relatively, unhindered. Right, let's go and have a look at our report. So we're now 42 million in profit for the year. I think that may be selling us short a little there. Where are we? November. Okay, let's rip it through to the end of the year and see how much tax they want from me, given my share dealings. Now, entertainingly, I've not actually paid attention to that before. I might get hit with a hefty tax bill here. Equally, given that I don't own any, maybe I was taxed at source. It is income, strictly speaking. Let's have a look. So, taxes are assessed on December 31st or thereabouts. So we'll find out in relatively short order whether my share dealing is going to get me taxed to hell and back. What are we looking at? 13 million in total. I can live with that. That's not really any different to the amount I'd normally pay. And meanwhile, I've been able to expand into a new area, and I've got cash in the bank. Get in. Right, we're pushing the 30,000 kilowatts there. Let's have a look and see how our service is doing. So, railway, we're actually, it's struggling, but it is giving it a go as far as profitability is concerned. But I'm about to tear up all the track and relay it. I'm not going in any different directions, but what I haven't got is they aren't laid out how I actually need them to be. All of that kind of, fairly conservative. Oh no, we'll just put a double track station here, or we'll put a single track station here. No, that's hogwash. That's not enough. You're not going to get anywhere with that. So here we go. Look, we're in March, and this is. I'll get off tax in a sec. We're in March, and I've made 2 million profit. That's grand. At the end of the year, I'm going to pay at least 10 million in tax overall, right? So we're a quarter of the way through the year, so I'm likely to make like 8-9 million, something like that. And then I'll have to pay 10 million in tax. So that will wipe out all of my profits immediately. And it comes down to the stuff that I own. And frankly, if it weren't for the power plants, I wouldn't be making anywhere near this kind of money. The factories and warehouses basically offset their own costs by just a little bit, but you need them to grow. If you haven't got those, no city growth, no game. This is where the money is in railroad services, but until you've built up to the point where you've got a whole load of railroads running, you're not going to make any money from that. So the blank map start is it can be something of a vicious cycle. Right, what are we going to do? Let's do something actually useful. So what I want to do is, I might end up having to leave Woking as a double track station. Is that what we want? Equally, I'm going to have to try and double track all the way around here, which means doing something exciting with the geo tools. On this section here, so that I can double track around the corner. Okay, so let's just decrease the editing area a little bit. There we go. All right, if I just as much as I can without upsetting people. There we go. That looks all right, doesn't it? Okay, right, now let's see if we can get rail round that. Yeah, I'm done. Stop. No, don't undo. Hold on. How much are you going to charge me for that, you peasant? 5 million quid. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. Right, good. So, track. Please let me build off here. No, that was never going to work, was it? And this is another thing to be kind of aware of, is that if you've got desynchronized start times for your services, so let's say it takes an hour to go point to point in one direction and an hour and 5 minutes to go point to point in another direction. If you're not carefully scheduling the way that those services operate, there will come a time when if you're running it down a single piece of track, that you'll come horribly unstuck. Oh, it wants to. Yes. Okay. Maybe this will work, maybe it won't. But, alright, okay, let's... Yeah, zoom out a little bit. Move me back. Here we go. Right. Let's fix that there. Let's take the bulldozer out. Yeah, that's going to spook him if he turns up in a minute. Yeah. No, 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 no. We're putting it back down again. Like that. Thank you. And you... No. Yes. Not quite. Am I going to have to geo you some more? Why don't you just nicely ease round the corner there? Let's do another remove. There we go. There we go. So effectively, we've dual tracked there. The other thing that I want to do, because I see it, when you load the game, there's a really quite nice following shot of a train. Maybe I'll include that in the next episode so you can see it, of the train coming into the city, and it's really kind of cool. But what it does is it moves along points in a diagonal fashion, and so I'm wondering whether I can do the same thing. Track lay. Let's pause the game before that goods train comes back and looks at me like, what did you do? So from... Great place for a bridge there. Great place for a bridge. So from here, I guess, over to there, and then it could be a nice smooth transition, rather than him wiggling through as he has been doing so far. I don't think it is. I think maybe... we'll soon find out. See, that removes the whole point section, and I don't want to do that. No, it's not going to do it. I think, well, let's remove some more. You know, now that we've got a license to print money, let's just abuse that facility and see if we can get this working nicely. I'm going to regret this. Okay, so you move forward a little, right, yeah. You merge onto there. Well, you've got to go up there. Oh, I'm now longing for an undo button. I should have just left it as it was. Yeah. Yeah. See, yeah, it's not gonna make it easy for me to just put it back as it was. You fool! You only have yourself to blame. Yeah, that'll work. Remove that. Yeah, should have left it alone. Serves you right. You and your infinite money. I'm going to make you have to spend time generating infinite money. Alright, you don't want to watch me messing around with this. No, actually, you really don't. No, I'm going to do this while you're off making a cup of tea. I'll catch you next time. My name's been Colonel Failure. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. So, cheerio.